in dunya and akhirah. So in the book of Nurul Idah, in the last lesson, we were speaking about the rulings of what is mentioned in Arabic as as-sur. Sur is basically the remnants of water that is drunk. So the author speaks about some rulings pertaining to these remnants. We have covered all of it. The last thing he mentioned is the fourth category, where he said mashkukun fi tahuriyatihi. There is any doubt pertaining to its purity, then this is with regard to the remnants of water which is drank by al-barl. Al-barl is an animal that is born, and one of the parents is a horse and the other is donkey. In the Hanafi madhab, the purity depends on the mother. If the mother of the barrel is a horse, then we say that the it carries the state of purity. Whereas if the mother is a donkey, himar, then it follows in terms of its impurity. So this is where he mentioned there is any doubt because of this issue. It is kind of mixed between purity and non-purity. So he mentioned masur al-baghli wal-himar. Likewise pertaining to the donkey, because we have a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that the Prophet ﷺ permitted a person to eat and drink from the remnants of what is ate from a donkey. So but here the author is saying it is better to avoid. فَإِن لَمْ يَجِدْ غَيْرَهُ. But if a person in a state where he doesn't have any water except that water that is drunk by the donkey or drank by the barrel, then it is permissible for him to take ablution from this. Where he mentioned tawadda'a bihi wa tayammama. But when he takes wudu, he also does tayammum. Why wudu and tayammum? Just to play safe, ihtiyatan. So he takes ablution, there is a possibility that the ablution is not valid. So if that is the case, and he also do tayammum, just in case if the wudu is not valid, summa salla, then he performs the prayers. So by this we have completed the chapter on ahkam sur. Now we go on to the next fasl. The author mentioned fi tahari fil awani wa thiyab. In our madhab al-Imam Shafi'i, in the madhab al-Imam Shafi'i, normally we use the word ijtihad, but here the author used the word tahari, but the meaning is the same. Tahari here meaning ijtihad. So for example, in Muqaddimah Hadramiyah, for those who are following, we have a chapter in the Muqaddimah Hadramiyah when it comes to ijtihad when using utensils and pots and pans. So here the author mentioned fi tahari fil awani wa thiyab. Al-awani is a form of utensil or something that is used to hold food and water or drink. This is called aniya. The plural is al-awani. So here is going to speak about the ruling of using such utensils where we want to take ablution in, for example. Thiyab is clothing. So just in a situation, for example, that we have a few cups or a few pails of water, and we are informed that some of the pails contains filth. Some of the pails contains filth. So here ijtihad becomes wajib. At-tahari. Here the term used is at-tahari. We normally we use the term al-ijtihad. So al-ijtihad is bazlul majhud fi husul al-maqsood. In the Arabic language, ijtihad meaning put in efforts to attain a common aim, to attain something, the result or the conclusion. So in the case where we have a few pails, this is the example. For example, we have 10 pails of water. So we want to take ablution. So a pail is also considered to be aniya, something that holds any water. So now there is 10 pails of water. Okay. Some of the pails contains najis. Some of the pails are pure water. So now we have to put in some efforts to come to a conclusion as to which of the pails are pure, which of the pails are impure. So we have to put in some effort. So this effort is called tahari. So if we have 10 pills then 3 pills contains najis. 3 pills. 3. 7 pills contains pure water. So this is where the author mentioned in the first category. He said, لَوْ اخْتَلَطَ أَوَانٍ. If there are many, awanin, just like pills, for example. أَكْثَرُهَا طَاهِرٌ. Most of these pills are pure. So for example, we have 10 pills, 6 are pure. Tamam? 6 are pure. So most of the pills are pure. Correct? No? We have 10. So 6 are pure. So aksaruha tahir. This is what it meant. Then we have 4 that is impure. So this is the minority. Minority is impure, majority is pure. So then he mentioned taharra litawaddi wa shurbi. Then it is permissible for him to do ijtihad for ablution and for drinking. So both of these can be done. It is permissible for us to take ablution based on ijtihad, based on tahari, and likewise to drink from it. No problem. Why? Because this is a situation where the utensils or the pails or the cups that is pure is more than that is impure. So this is the first situation. It is permissible for us to take wudu. It is permissible for us even to drink from the water. The second situation, wa in kana aksaruha najisan. Now this is opposite. So now we go back into the same example. So now we have 10 pills. Now most of it are impure. So for example, 6 of the pills, 6 of the pills are impure. 4 is pure. Now the situation, the ruling is different. The ruling is different. So since most of the pills are impure water, la yataharra illa li shurbi. It is not permissible for us to do ijtihad for wudu. It is not permissible for us to do ijtihad for wudu, because the higher possibility is that the water is impure, because most of these pills are impure. But it is only permissible for us to do ijtihad li shurbi, for drinking. Why? Because drinking is a necessity. When it comes to wudu, we can do tayammum, because there is always a badil. There is always something that is that takes the place of. But when it comes to drinking, if a person is desperate and the person doesn't have water, and then there is 10 pills of water, tamam. But we say that 9 of the pills are najis. 9. There's only 1. Khalas, do ijtihad. And the one that is based on ijtihad, that we think the highest possibility that this pill contains pure water, it is permissible for us to drink from it. Tamam? But it is not permissible for us to take any ablution. It is not permissible for us to take ablution. This is one of the difference between the Hanafi madhab and the Shafi madhab, because in the Shafi madhab we do not consider whether it's a lot or less. But once a person does ijtihad, it is permissible for him to take wudu and also for drinking. But here in the Hanafi madhab, there is tafsil. It depends on how many pills or how many utensils contains pure water and how many impure. If the majority contains pure water, then only we can do ijtihad for ablution. Otherwise, it is not permissible unless if it is used for drinking, because drinking is a necessity and there is no compensation. When a person doesn't have water for drinking, he can lead to death, can lead to sickness. But when it comes to ablution, there is always a compensation. Compensation meaning like a badil. That's what we mentioned. A person can do tayammum, because he doesn't have any pure water. Number 3, wa fi thiyabil mukhtalita. When it comes to clothings carries a different ruling. So now we have clothings, we are informed there are, for example, najis. So for example, we have 2 clothes. One of it has najis. So we do ijtihad. Which one is not najis? Not mutanajis. So after we smell, for example, and we look, we see the number 1, there is no najis at all. Number 2, we also see there is no najis, but the smell is not like the first. For example, the first carries a nice smell. The second maybe nice, the smell is not that. So we are certain that the first is the one that is the pure, not the second one. So it is permissible for us to use and to wear the first clothing for prayers, and our prayers will become valid. So here we do not take any consideration the number of clothing. So for example, if we have 10 clothes, we are informed for example 9 of the clothes are najis, 9, but there is only one that is pure. We do any ijtihad. So we look at all the 10 clothings, then we come to the conclusion that the fifth is the pure. One. So we wear the pure one, and we perform our prayers, and our prayers is valid. So here the author mentioned, when comes to clothings, we do not take into consideration how many clothes are impure, how many clothes are pure for ijtihad. So even if the minority is impure, it is permissible for us to do ijtihad. Yataharra, he said, he does tahari, ijtihad. Sawa'un kana aktharuha tahiran aw najisan. So whether most of the clothing are pure, or most of the clothing are impure. So ijtihad in this situation is compulsory. Tamam. So if a person asks why clothing there is this concession, but not when comes to water, when comes to ablution. So we say that it is better for a person to wear clothing in prayers than to pray naked. If you were to say for example that we take into consideration the number of clothing, if the majority is najis, if you were to say that it is not permissible to do ijtihad, meaning what? Meaning a person pray naked, meaning now he doesn't have clothing, so he cannot do ijtihad, so he has to pray naked. Which is better, to pray in clothing that there is a possibility there is najis, or to pray naked? Of course, to pray in a clothing there is a possibility there is najis, because this only is based on zon, possibility. So it is better to pray than not to wear anything in prayers, or not to cover the aura. So in this situation, there is a difference in rulings when it comes to clothing and water in the Hanafi madhab. When it comes to water for ablution solely, that we have to take into consideration the number of utensils or number of pails. But when it comes to clothing, we do not take into consideration, just like when it comes to drinking, because all these things are considered to be a necessity. So this is the chapter or the fasl where the author speaks about ijtihad. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with tawfiq. So the next chapter, the author is going to speak about fi tathhir al-abar. Al-abar is what you call it with regards to the well. So here again we will speak about the water that is a lot, water that is a little, and how it is affected by certain types of filth. We will speak about this in our next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina azaban nar. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi sallam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.